All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Chicagoans Denounce Walmart's Abrupt Decision to Close 4 Stores. Let's check it out.
Walmart shocked 4 Chicago communities this week, announcing it was picking up stakes. Well, 3 days before the stores are set to close, activists called the decision an act of disrespect, and they are urging action to save the neighborhoods.
Okay.
Look at this parking lot. It's like this every day. Every time I go in this store, it's packed with people.
With one single and abrupt announcement, the nation's largest retailer appears to have sunk 4 Chicago neighborhoods deeper into a food desert.
This Walmart came here with the...
Okay, guys, yeah, I understand. At least so far. Chicago is an interesting place. There's some parts of Chicago that are not absolutely abysmal. But the majority of it, at least the south side, right, is absolutely terrible. That's why am I not in focus? Yeah, it's terrible. So I don't know where these places are specifically, but I wouldn't want a business in this area either. Like if I was investing in a very specific region, I think Chicago would be a really good place to potentially rent, right? As in like I would buy small properties and just for the purpose of renting them. But I would never really just run a business out of there, guys. Personally, I understand why large companies are leaving. If they think that the clientele that are coming into the establishment is absolutely terrible, I'm guessing most likely theft oriented. I'm almost going to go ahead and say that's probably the reason why this is happening. If you were a company and you were losing money, most likely, guys. Why would you stay in a very specific area? Yeah, listen, Chicago is a desert in many ways, not just a food desert. I would definitely say education desert, probably a health desert. It's probably saying that the city has unfortunately fallen. And I wouldn't just blatantly say it would be smart for some of the people from there that have been living in that Chirac area, guys, right? I don't think that they should go anywhere else. They need some like rehabilitation, I think, to kind of learn how to deal with humans, maybe. Not saying they're not human, obviously. Listen, don't clip me here, guys, right? But they need to learn how to deal with people that are not like that, right? Mentally, you get what I mean here, guys. So I wouldn't say just go ahead and leave and go somewhere else. Nah, bro. I understand there are issues. There are all types of deserts. Education probably being one of the biggest ones, right? I don't know how schools are doing there, but let's see where this takes us, guys.
Promise to be a partner in this community.
The stores are in Kenwood.
I mean, they can promise to be a partner in the community, but if the partnership is only one way and they're just losing, let them go.
Lakeview, Little Village, and
build your own if that's the case.
With a health.
Like if you think the business is going to do so well, don't worry. That's some prime real estate right there. Build a grocery store. Just going to go ahead and say, but I know why you're not going to do it, because it's going to be ransacked.
Center and Academy at 84th and Stewart.
Since Walmart announced these closures, my office, which is located literally steps from this building, has been inundated with calls from seniors who are crying out saying, where do I go for my medicine? Ooh.
All right. That's one of those health desert situations, guys. I get it, bro. I get it. There has to be a pharmacy somewhere else. Again, guys, build your own very specific grocery store. And, obviously run it how you would like to have it run, I would say. But I don't, as of right now, I don't blame them for leaving if the case is, I honestly don't even know what the case is. I can just almost guess that it's probably theft oriented.
Mothers who are talking about their children and saying, how do I feed my children?
Neighbors and a coalition of elected leaders rallied by St. Sabina's Father Flager are fighting back.
By simply announcing a 5-day notice to all that they were closing this supercenter and training academy without any warning or conversation with anybody.
Warning was on the paper, and they don't really have to do that.
Walmart leaders argue
I feel bad for the employees, obviously.
Stores have lost money since opening nearly 17 years ago.
Anybody.
Walmart leaders argue the stores have lost money since opening nearly 17 years ago, tens of millions of dollars every year. The group counters that the Supercenter in Chatham had just finished a major renovation and a health center that is vital to the community.
Walmart said these...
Oh, no, bro. How are you going to ask someone else to consistently lose from $10 to $17 million a year in a location? How are you doing that? I mean, listen, we understand philanthropy, absolutely. But, bro, that's not even realistic to ask. They're losing copious amounts of money. Whoa. Yeah, I would have seen a loss that large. I mean, I get it. On a grand scheme of things, the Waltons are absolutely not really losing any real money, right? But if the location is not performing, it has to go, right? I mean, that looks negative on their books. I get it. I get it. You need something locally that can do things. Guys, Walmart leaving this region would be terrible. I know it. Because Walmart leaving anywhere is generally terrible. Walmart set up shop in some of the oddest places around the United States of America. And when they set up shop, they basically run all the other business out. Maybe that's the angle they're coming from very specifically, right? I mean, they do run all the business out of the door. They're gone. It's just them. Tire places, electronic stores, like mom and pop bakeries. All these places are just shut down instantly with a Walmart in your presence, because the Walmart's going to undercut you in ways that you didn't expect it. Okay, you cannot afford as a mom and pop shop to run a bakery next to a Walmart, guys, right? And if that's the case, yeah, Walmart leaving would be absolutely horrifying. But understand, guys, if they're losing that amount of money, they cannot maintain that, guys. I mean, well, they can indefinitely maintain it, but why are they maintaining a location that is absolutely plagued with debauchery? I would suggest no business owner to ever do this. Again, if you want to do something in the Chicago area, buy property and rent, because at least you have their credit, guys. You get what I'm saying here? You know who the person is inside that property. Exactly. And they put a deposit down, etc. Okay, so at least that would be the only way I would do business in Chicago ever.
Stores are closing because they've never made any money. Well, how come Jewel and other agencies stay in our communities and they make money? They talk about theft. Please, Walmart, stop using that stereotype.
The group says it isn't just the customers who...
Is it a stereotype?
will suffer. They say the employees will too.
I remember when this was a vacant parking lot.
Is it that?
I remember when we fought to bring...
I get it. There's a common trope regarding people that are deeply melanated, that we are all criminals, right? We all facilitate some type of criminality, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? I don't know if it's a stereotypical reason. Literally, if they're losing money, which I would expect it. I would expect them losing money. How can they afford to maintain something like this? Is there loss happening in these places? Probably. Guys, my first thought was the area, the overall median income of the area also, and understanding that when people tend to be, impoverished, they tend to have slightly more criminality in terms of petty theft. Right, and this place, a place like Walmart, is going to be target number one. Right, this is not about any type of like racial anything. This is just about poverty, right? The haves and have-nots. That's what this is.
Bring this Walmart to this community. I remember when we didn't have any jobs or any places for our kids to work. When they didn't have a place to work, they had to leave our community to find employment.
Others went so far as to call the decision.
If no one wants to do business in your community, how are you angry that the only company that attempted to and that has operated at a loss for many guys, a crazy loss, 10 to $17 million loss, guys?
Corporate racism that will prompt nationwide repercussions.
If Walmart doesn't invest in the people here, we will disinvest across the entire nation.
Okay.
Everybody say enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Let's disinvest from everything that Chicago represents and has represented in the media for the last 2 decades. Let's disinvest from retribution, deletion of other humans, right? Let's disinvest from the street fraternities, guys, right? I mean, we can disinvest from a lot of things. Walmart's probably not going to be one of them because, again, Walmart a lot of the times in areas is the only thing left for people to shop at in terms of like groceries and other small items, guys. So you can say you want to disinvest, but there are a lot of other things that could probably be disinvested from in your locality. Just a thought.
We'll go from Chicago to Indiana to Michigan and every state where there's a Walmart. And the same black and brown people who make this store will be the same black and brown people that walk away from this store.
The four Walmarts are closing on Sunday. Now, earlier in the week, the corporation said the move will help the 4 remaining Chicago stores and that the affected employees would be able to work at other locations.
Okay, because again, the only thing I honestly cared about regarding this, listen, I understand the elderly are going to need medicine. That's a really important thing. I would suggest that very specific thing being, mitigated in some way. Hopefully there's some type of pharmacy. There probably wouldn't be, again, because nothing can exist in the vacuum that is Walmart. So Walmart came in and absolutely decimated the area. You know it did, guys. You know that it did. I think it was already probably decimated, but and dilapidated. But Walmart came in and finished it off. And the fact that there are 4 kind of like in the region, it definitely decimated the entire, like many city blocks, I'm sure. I'm positive. Absolutely positive. I get it, guys. It's terrible. But I would say the biggest thing to do is attempt to fix the area if you want people to maintain this or leave, right? I mean, obviously, just if it's possible, if it is at all possible, which I understand it probably isn't based off of the median income of this very specific area, it's probably not very plausible. Gosh, no. Right. Anyway, so I don't know how plausible it is, but I think the only real beneficial thing to kind of take from this is you have to stop the nonsense that surrounds this area, right? And once that can stop, I'm sure companies will start coming back in, right? Companies are here to make money, and if you're losing $10 to $17 million a year. Yeah, bro, they're going to leave. I have no idea why they're losing it. I mean, again, I would not say that theft is responsible for $10 to $17 million, guys. I wouldn't say that. I would definitely not say that. Maybe, I don't know, guys. I can't even begin to tell you why they're losing this much money. I honestly hope that it's not like there are like a lot of these like theft rings kind of running around. But I don't think that they could be responsible for $10 to $17 million in yearly losses. That's all right, guys. Listen, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is Walmart wrong for this? Because I personally am in the camp of they're not wrong. They're not wrong from a business standpoint. It's not wrong morally. Nope. I listen. If they came in and spoke to the city councilmen, etc., to get like approval to even build here, right? And you wanted them to be a partner with the community, but the community itself is not really being a really good partner. Bros, they came, they tried. I give them all the congratulations in the entire world here. All the congratulations, have them all of them, multiples, right? But they came, they tried, they failed. That's it. They released them from this moralistic nonsense, guys. Release them. They've lost way too much money. They've invested a lot into the community, and they have gotten nothing back from it. It's a bad investment. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy your day thoroughly.